Alright, welcome to 6-2 video 2. We are going to talk about multiplying cube roots. And if you watched the last video, actually if you haven't watched the last video, you need to go watch the last video. This is going to be super helpful for this video. But basically, you're going to do the exact same thing that you did in the last video, except that now, instead of looking for groups of 2, you are going to be looking for groups of 3 because we're doing cube roots. So let's fill these in our notes here. That's literally just what I did, the exact same thing I said, that we're looking for groups of 3 instead of pairs. I said groups of 2, but instead of pairs when simplifying. So notice in this first example here, we have the cube root of 12. And I'm going to actually write this bigger because it's important that we start to stress this, that there is a 3 here, and that means we're taking the cube root. Okay, so this is the cube root of 12 times the cube root of 36. So you're going to multiply these the exact same way. There's nothing in front here, so it's assumed to be a 1. So 1 times 1 is 1, but we don't write the 1. So I'm just going to write this as the root of 3 times, the cube root of 12 times 36. And notice all I've done here is I've just combined this under one radical. And I didn't multiply it out yet. The things underneath the radical, I didn't multiply them out because I know that I still have to break them down. And I have to make sure that I write the simplest form. So I'm going to come off to the side, and let me change colors. And I'm going to write 12 and 36 because I know I need to break both of those down. I know 12 will break down to 2 and 6. And I'm actually going to leave that right here because I can kind of do a little bit of work in my head here and see that 36 will break down into 6 times 6. Okay, and there is a group of 3 right there. So let me rewrite this. So this will be the cube root of 2 times 6 times 6 times 6. We're going to bring out the 6 because that's a group of 3. So that'll be 6 on the cube root of 2. And that is my final answer for that one. Notice again, let me reiterate this. When I'm multiplying, I go ahead and multiply the numbers on the outside. Here I didn't have to because there's like an invisible 1 there, so you don't have to write any number. But when I multiply the numbers on the inside, the radicands, I don't multiply them yet. I write them as the product of the two numbers that they are because I know, why would I multiply them if I know that I have to reduce it back out and reduce it to its prime factors anyways if I already have it as a product of two numbers. It's just a way to kind of save yourself a step. You could, if you wanted to, you could multiply 12 times 36, get whatever that number is, and then break it down on the right-hand side, but you will end up breaking it down anyways. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's do a couple more examples here. I think we have one more. Yeah. Okay, so on this one, still the cube root, so we have the little 3 right here and the 3 right here up in the where the square root is, but it's not a square root, it's a cube root. So we're looking for groups of 3. So remember the coefficients times the coefficient. So that's a 4 times this 3 here. So 4 times 3 on the outside, okay, which is going to give me 12. Okay, so I'm going to go and write that. So the third root of what is ever left. Then I have 20 times 162, and then I have x to the 7th, and I have x to the 3rd. So I went ahead and multiply this, and I like to write them as a product here because I need to break down 20 and 162. So 20 breaks down to 2 and 10, 10 breaks down to 2 and 5, 162 is going to break down to 2 and 81, and 81 will break down to 9 times 9. And I'm going to keep going because I am looking for groups of 3 here. So I'm going to break down 9 to 3 times 3, and then this 9 breaks down to 3 times 3. And I always like to cross out the ones that I've already broken down so that I can see what I have left. So this 20 becomes 2 times 2 times 5. The 162 becomes 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah. And then I'm going to write down 10 x's. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because 7 plus 3 is 10. I have a total of 10 x's here. Okay. So I've got a 2 and a 2 and a 2 here. And I also have a group of 3s here. And I'm circling the ones here that are staying on the inside. Okay, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do the same thing with the x's. So a group of 3, and then I'm circling the ones that stay on the inside. So this will be the cube root of 5 times 3. So I'll do 5 times 3, and then bring that x down. So that 5 is there, that 3 is there, and that x is right here. And then the numbers I pull out would be that 2, so I already have a 12 out there. So times 2 times that 3. And then I have 1, 2, 3 x's, so x to the 3rd there. Okay, so then we're going to do a little bit of math here, so we can just multiply 12 times 2 times 3, which gives me 72. So 72 x to the 3rd on the cube root of 5 times 3 is 15 x, and this is your final answer for that one. All right, make sure you try the U-tries, and other than that, I will see you in lesson 6-3.